Hello. Hello, I'm back. Can you hear me? All right, cool. I'm about to put us back in. We're going live. Yeah, we're back to the lab again. Sorry about that. Oh shit. Here we go again. Nope, you can't spoil that. All right, let me get back to the screen share here. Share. There we go. Start. Yeah, we're live. We are live again. Back again, gamers. The game is not showing because I had to launch it. Now it's showing. Look at all these locked volumes. God, we have so much work left to do. Can you not hear other people? Oh, hold on. Let me. Yeah, wait. People can't hear everyone else. Let me get that. Let me fix this. Audio output capture. There. That should be working now.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello, everyone.
It's working.
Hello. Jello. More like hello.
Jello, more like hello.
Yeah, it's fixed. Okay,
I can't
Okay.
see the game now on the screen share.
we're
Can't?
cookie.
No. This is so
Oh,
sad.
darn.
Hold
This
on.
is so sad.
Yeah, let me try it again.
I mean, I haven't been able to see it the whole time. I'm not watching. I'm just reading along with my copy of the script. So
Okay. We might just have
Yeah.
to do that. That's okay.
There you go.
Oh, now I can see it.
Okay.
Apparently, trying to stream the sound to you guys breaks it. So you just have to. Okay, right. Let's continue. Let's go back to
I
where
can
we
see
were.
it again now.
Yeah.
Where are we
We were-
gonna?
we were-
where
we
are
were
we
on the-
dropping, boys?
Where are we
on
dropping,
the-
boys? We're going to Tilted Towers.
Welcome
We were on
to town.
We were on the Orica line. I mean, come on, Scorp doesn't offer anything approaching the emote functionality.
Slap
Yes.
that motherfucking control button and fast forward.
Oh, that explosion is so loud.
Boom.
Boom. So stupid.
So
Oh yeah, I was
stupid.
rapping. I was rapping, and Twitch just decided to shut that whole thing down to protect everyone.
Enough of that.
Do you want me to read the "Oh Come On" line again?
Okay, well, first of all, Steamed is where we were.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I gotta back read here. Okay, well, first of all, Steamed, Discord isn't a website, so stupid. It's a chat client. The two are completely different things, Shoutpole. And it's not just any old client, but the original non-corporatized, independent, real-time communication engine, Steamed. One that was cruelly disposed by big business interests in favor of that shitty branded thing they just rolled out, Steamed. I mean, come on! Scorp doesn't offer anything approaching the emote functionality Discorp has, so you know it's basically worthless. I roll. Not to mention the security has loopholes out the ass, which is a whole other kettle of...
Orica.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm getting a little bit off track here, Pensive.
The reason Cecily stops her there is because she was about to say the word fish and cause a paradox.
To what do I owe the pleasure of finding you all akimbo on my cave floors?
Like I said before, I was...
Oh right, no, I remember you got some shady tip that I was in danger or something and raced all the way here to see if I was okay, Shoutpole. And honestly, that's really touching and I appreciate you coming no matter what the reason, Flushed. But thinking, well, not to burst your bubble or anything, I pop it, but does it really look like I'm in much danger of getting snuck up on, Flushed?
She waves
oh,
a
sorry.
hand vaguely about, gesturing to the scorch marks on the floor, the banks of laser cannons embedded in the walls. You have to admit that it's a pretty impressive defense system she's got going on here. Certainly a hell of a lot more comprehensive than Husker and their friends had in the cornfields.
I have to admit, it's a pretty impressive defense system you've got going on here. Did you install all of this yourself?
Oh, well, lots of time all on my lonesome equals lots of time for these little passion projects, Flex. Especially if it's a passion fueled by my desire to not get mauled by people with an axe to grind, Steamed. Chumps do not know how to behave them. But if they want to take it up with me and my laser turrets, then that's a them problem. LMAO, clap.
I love that.
Claps in the chat for Orica. You guess she has a point? Maybe? You've always found it a little hard to follow along with what Orica says on account of all the occult slang and acronyms she throws around.
Or I suppose I should say it was a them problem, Pensive. Like I said, I was actually on my way here to turn the system off, innocent.
She offers a precious little explanation, but you're not really bothered about that. The fact that this system existed in the first place is a bigger concern of yours right now.
You know, if you've been having a lot of difficulty with unwanted attention, this is the kind of thing you should bring up with the corporation. I know you don't like to talk about it, but you are a member of an officially endangered hemotype, and that entitles you to certain protections. If you took the time to install a voice connection here, then, well, the heir has a line specifically for you to make him aware of problems like these. It would surely be a less taxing use of your skills than building a makeshift fortress out of domestic waste.
Thinking. So what you're saying is, thinking, I should just dial up some corporate cops. Thinking. Well, sorry, but I'm not just that kind of person. Yikes. Why would I let some goons from the corporation have all the fun wailing on those nook suckers, Surprise Noodle? I mean, come on, Steam. That's such a blatant expropriation. Oh god, what is that word?
Expropriation.
Thank you. Expropriation of my suffering, I roll.
Well, okay, no one would be wailing on anyone else, and you have no idea what a cop is supposed to be, but whatever.
And why would I want to talk to stupid little Sestro anyway? I mean, let's be real, the guy's a total weenie. Oh, you think I'd ask that dimpled dweeb for a favor just to make him look good? Yikes. He'd spend the whole time prattling on about social responsibility and how he's gonna fix everything by recycling paper or whatever, Steamed, droning on and on while looking mournfully out of his window all forlorn and shit like it's Singles Day at the aquarium, Pensive Shrimp.
Pensive. What?
I just couldn't talk to someone knowing that amount of self-pitying was going down the other end. Seriously, cry laugh.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
I love her so much.
It'd be another thing entirely if I can get a few choice words in with that nasty side piece he's got going on there, Glance Nuggets.
You're not talking about Hamifi, are you?
Yes, that's the one! Nice. Nobody in my servers knows who or what she even does, but the running theory is pretty much everything. LOL thinking. And besides the shady business, she always seems to be involved in... anyone whose scowl is... Oh god.
Unanimously.
I can't read today. What is it?
Unanimously.
Thank you. Unanimously voted most blood-curdling... And I can't read words.
Sorry. In the Auxilia Chicks webzine.
Auxilia Chicks webzine. 3 sweeps running has got to be one mean piece of work, Flushed. Not to mention there's this rumor going around that starting up that shitty new chat client was all her idea, Steam. The girl's diabolical, but also diabolically easy on the Glance Nuggets, you know what I mean. Wink lick.
Oh, God. Oh, sorry, right.
Kate, I can't believe you
I keep stepping on your toes, I'm sorry!
Oh fuck, I can't believe she's done this.
I can't read. There's toe stepping.
Jesus. Oh god, this is what I wrote, and it's appropriate to what is going on in this voice call right now. This is genuinely kind of awful. Not only is Hamifi a bit young for Orica, but you basically raised her and her betrothed yourself. Listening to this is making you feel a bit weird. And besides, isn't Orica seeing someone already? You remember hearing something about that a long time ago. Then again, you might be getting your quadrants mixed up. At this point, you're having a hard time remembering what all of them were even called.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm still going steady with Ron. Don't worry about that. Flushed. But we've been pretty firmly in the red for a good while, and sometimes a girl's just gotta loathe, you know, Pence.
You suppose you can understand that, at least. Boy, do you love a good loathing. The topic of romance isn't one you like getting into, though, and especially not with someone quite so... well, so Orica. Your gaze wanders a bit, trying to avoid looking at her helmet screen for too long. You settle on a smouldering crater a short distance away, where your electronic visor met its untimely end. All at once, the reality of the situation hits you. That visor was your trusty partner for sweeps. The only piece of tech you actually knew how to use. You haven't simply lost a handy tool. That head screen was more to you than just an accessory. It was... No, you can't say it.
Can we get an F in the chat for the visor?
Yeah.
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 I want to see those Fs. And now it's gone forever, tragically exploded. You're having a hard time even understanding its absence. You're definitely in the denial stage right now. The pain is too much to bear. Speaking of pain, your ThinkPad still hurts like crazy from when you slammed into that rock a while back. You put a hand to your temple and wince. Seeing this, Orica looks a bit concerned.
Everything all right there, Sass? Fries Noodle? Did something happen to you, Cold Sweat? Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I did just unleash a barrage of laser artillery at you, LMAO. Yikes. Well, that's all Icor under the bridge, I suppose, and absolutely not worth dwelling on for any length of time, Innocent. And speaking of not dwelling, we should head back to my hive. It's not really safe all the way out here, Pensive.
The splitting pain makes it kind of hard to talk, so you're absently nodding along with a lot of what Orica says. Only figuratively, mind you. Actually nodding would likely be just as painful. Orica begins to head deeper into the cave, indicating that you should come along with her. Follow her inside. The two of you begin to trudge your way through the cavern in the direction of Orica's hive. The cave system inside this cliff essentially consists of one long winding tunnel with several smaller tributaries branching off either side. It's pretty easy to navigate, even without Orica. So sorry, I just want to say that I don't know who is it. Donut
Yes.
has just changed his icon, and it's all.
I can't look at you
Oh.
anymore, Donut.
I can't. I'm having to put my hand over this side of the screen so I can't.
Oh my god.
It's just too funny.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
You try to keep chatter to him. I looked at it again. You try and keep chatter to a minimum on account of your injuries, but something catches your eye after a few moments of walking that you can't help but remark on.
Orica? What is that thing over there?
You point towards a little. She's pointing at the hog face. You point towards a little alcove tucked into one of the walls of the cave. It's not the alcove itself you're interested in, but rather what's inside it. It looks vaguely mechanical.
Yeah.
Orica looks to where you're pointing, looking a bit startled. You think she does, at any rate. It's hard to tell what she's thinking with this screen in the way of her face.
Oh, that little thing? Surprise Noodle? It's nothing important, Innocent.
That little thing is, for convenient reference, about 8 feet tall. Whatever it is, it's constructed out of a whole load of scrap, assorted bits of junk, and who knows what else. It's a little bit freakish to look at, and yet somehow it seems familiar. Oh no. Oh hell no.
Wait a moment, Orica. You don't seriously mean to tell me that you've been building more of your little machines again, do you?
Cold Sweat.
You can't see Orica's face, but you get the sneaking suspicion she's avoiding your gaze behind that screen.
Can we, not talk about this, maybe? I signed an NDA, remember? And besides, the topic is kinda, yikes.
Oh my god, Orica, what in the All-Mother's name does the non-destruction agreement have to do with it? Other than the fact that it's the reason why you absolutely positively cannot be building another one of these contraptions. Why do you think they made you sign that document in the first place? Because it looked nice, mounted in a gilt frame on your wall?
I mean, that was a very nice frame it got put in, Glance Nuggets. Thanks for that, by the way. Kiss.
You're so very welcome. Anyway, that agreement was drafted because it was the only way to get everyone to keep quiet about the catastrophe that happened the last time you built one of these...
Max? Surprise noodle?
Mechanized body augmentation suits is what I meant to say. Your pithy high-blood slang is ridiculous and feels awful coming out of my shout cave.
Okay, whatever. The name's not important. Cecily. My darling, pray. My angel, innocent. My favorite criminal damages lawyer. Everyone else says catastrophe. I say spontaneous infrastructural rearrangement. So really, who even knows what happened at the end of the night? Thinking.
You're impossible.
Orica doesn't respond to that, other than to flash you another strange symbol through her helmet screen. She skips on ahead of you a little ways as the two of you round another bend in the long passageway. You're a decent way inside this cliff by now. I love my daughter so much.
She's great. I love her so much.
Suddenly the cave opens into a wide, high-walled cavern, so large that it's hard to make out the ceiling in the dim light. By far the most notable thing about this cave, though, is the 3-story all-motherfucking mansion that's sitting right in the middle of it. Members of the endangered castes have more ready access to corporate welfare than most. Whereas, say, a Burgundy would be expected to take care of themselves past the age of 6 sweeps or so, Orica and trolls of her hemotype usually get looked after well into adulthood. Ostensibly, it's all about preserving the rarer troll subspecies, but most people see it as a sycophantic handout to an historically powerful group who have since fallen from grace. You don't suppose you can really blame them, either. Orica may talk about not being really all that different from anyone else, but there's only so many small palaces you can be built in strange, secret caves before that starts to ring a little hollow. You follow Orica up the front steps, through the main entrance, and into her primary living quarters. The hive has changed a lot since the last time you were here, back when it had just been built. Well, that's not quite true. The hive itself isn't all that different. The mess is, though. It's nothing compared to the landfill outside the cave, but you can hardly step anywhere in here for fear of treading on something, or worse, in something. That's an important, if yucky, distinction.
Orica, I apologize if this comes across as somewhat of a criticism, but what is this plethora of putrid-smelling garbage doing in your leisure cube? I knew you used this stuff for your various engineering projects, but this is beyond absurd. I have exceptionally good vision, and even I'm having trouble seeing the floor.
That's an exaggeration, which is unlike you. Her room isn't that bad. Maybe it's the blood in your eyes that's talking. Seeing it all is pretty hard right now. Orica doesn't seem fazed by your fussing, though.
LMAO, Ceci, sweetheart, if you think this is bad, then you should see some of the other blocks in this place, I roll.
You get the feeling that you most certainly should not see any of the other blocks in this hive. If nothing else, you'd be committing some poor background artist to days of extra work.
As for how it got like this, well, honestly, I have no idea. I mean, one day you start doing a bit of tinkering with the available resources from a nearby waste disposal zone, and before you know it, you're having to quarantine whole wings of your hive because of the smell. Yikes. You know how it is.
You...
You so utterly don't know how it is.
Orica. Look, I'll be honest. My think pan is killing me, your hive is a total disaster, and I'm rapidly losing my grip on the very reason why I even came to see you in the first place. I thought you were in danger. I'm not especially sure what I was thinking, actually. I just knew that something was up. A lot is happening at the corporation right now, and none of it good.
You explained to Orica about the whole Vivify blood burglary situation in lots of detail, so much so that it would be very boring if we all had to sit through it. Orica also seems pretty uninterested in the whole story, actually. A bit distracted. Maybe living in a cave for so long has made her pretty detached from the world outside. You wrap up your explanation, feeling a bit irritated.
Wig! Okay, Cecily, I know this is all very important to you, but I think that maybe there's something else you should be worried about right now, Pensive.
She gestures to your pan, which you're massaging furiously with both hands.
You look really hurt, and the visor I gave you is missing, Pensive. You didn't get rid of it, did you, Surprise Noodle?
No, Orica, I didn't get rid of it. It was exploded in a fireball.
Shout pull!
Would you like to know why it was exploded in a fireball, Orica? I'm sure you would. It was because of one of your crazy mechanical devices. The same things which you were supposed to never build again, for the good of everyone's safety, including yours.
You're shouting now. You hate how it feels, but love it at the same time. Your blood is boiling, and suddenly you're the most alive you've been all day, all week, all sweep.
I just don't understand any of it, Orica. I don't understand how you're just okay with this. Okay with the situation, okay with what happened to you, okay with what you did, okay with anything. I could very well have died, Orica, or what's worse, been injured past the point of medical aid. I was beside myself with worry about you. I thought you might have been killed. And then it all turned out to be a complete waste of my time. In fact, it turned out to be even worse than that. My time has not so much been wasted as it has been fucked over completely. Because how am I supposed to even complete my objective now that my visor is... The visor is...
The next word sticks in your chute. An old wound flares in pain.
Gone. Oh,
Pork.
all mother of fuck.
Oh God, sorry.
Wig.
Okay, that was really good.
Thanks.
Oof, Jesus.
Christ,
That
you
was
write
so
something
good.
and then someone acts out and you're just like, God, okay. You topple haphazardly down into a chair, dizzy, deflated, and nauseous. Your think pan feels like it's going to split in two. Orica is looking at you in shock, her helmet screen blank and featureless. Neither of you move for a while.
Cecily.
And then, very slowly, she brings her arms up and takes the helmet off.
Oh, baby.
I'm not okay with it. Not with what I did. Not with what happened to me. Not with what happened to you. Like, obviously, I'm not okay with any of those things. And on some level, I know that no matter how hard I try, I'm never going to be okay with it. But at the same time, I just kind of have to be okay with it. If that makes sense. Like, on some level, I just need to be okay with it no matter what I actually think. Just so that I can be okay with myself. And keep on living.
She sighs, long and deep.
Some things can't be forgiven no matter how much you apologize. Or no matter how much you want to forgive someone else, even though you know it's the right thing to do. Maybe it's stupid to keep on hoping that I can build something that will make up for what happened. And even more dangerous than stupid, I guess. But Ron and me, that's the kind of people we are, I think. We can't stop trying because otherwise we'd be okay with it. But the wrong kind of okay. I'm sorry, Cecily. I'm sorry that you got tied up in it. All those sweeps ago and right now. Pensive.
Darling.
Daughter.
I got you, don't worry.
Like everyone just adopts Orica. Like
I love her.
This goblin who is older than any of us.
Daughter time.
collectively, we are her parent.
She
Like,
lowers.
honestly, this part
No,
just
no,
like
sorry.
This part just like kind of generally got to me emotionally. Just like her dialogue, it's really good.
Yeah.
I've only had Orica for 15 minutes, but if anything happened to her, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
I want to say too, while Kate was yelling, one of the puppies I'm sitting heard it through the headphones and was so concerned he was looking at me.
Let's not dissolve all of the emotional tension.
Yeah, let's continue the round, please.
She lowers her eyes to the floor. She lowers her eye to the floor, not meeting your gaze. You feel terrible, and not just because you're very severely battered and bruised. For one thing, losing your temper like that was simply unacceptable. You're supposed to do better. But worst of all is how Orica is apologizing for something which, in the end, you're just as guilty of. Putting herself in harm's way in some desperate attempt at atonement. Ugh, it's so familiar. There's a point where what you've done to others and what they've done to you seems to congeal in one big meaty lump of anger and sadness. One that, try as you might, you'll never know what to do with. So it just stays.
For a long time, I just let this sort of fester. Literally, I mean, a lot of what you're looking at right now happened because I got hurt and just didn't care enough to tend to things until it was too late. But part of being okay with things is learning how to be okay, I think. So that's what I've decided to do.
She nods to herself, perking up a little.
I've been teaching myself first aid, Flex. It's not much at the moment, but hopefully one day I'll be able to do something useful with it, steamed. And bodies aren't really that much different from machines, so I'm basically halfway there already. LOL, nice. So here's an idea. Pants Nuggets. How about I go get my things and we can patch you up, and I'll see about replacing your visor while I'm at it, steamed. Does that sound good, Sass? Surprise Noodle?
She doesn't say anything about trying to make it up to you, but you both know that that's what she's doing. And similarly, when you incline your head in approval, it's a way of saying sorry for the outburst. You make this strange little agreement of apology, a bargain of atonement struck between two unlikely friends. You think that's what you are. You're never really sure about these things. Orica flashes you a wink and hurries off to get her things.
Okay, that's like the one email I wanted to comment on, just because, like, she flashes you a wink, and it's just her one eye.
Yeah. I love it so much.
I miss Orica.
I miss Orca Tails. I miss her a lot.
I'll be back.
I feel like pure shit. Just want her back. Once she's gone, you take a moment to try and collect your thoughts. You've got plenty of them, that's for sure. You just sit and stew for a while, mulling everything over. But eventually, by force of habit, your investigative instincts start to get the better of you. Something is up, and you don't know what it is. So you do what you always do when something is up. Root around in a pile of trash until something presents itself. You get up, slowly, and carefully begin poking around the room. There's a lot of stuff in here, so much that it all starts to blend together into one big mass of visual noise. But there are some things that stand out amongst it all. I'm actually going to have to stop talking because it's very late here, so someone else is going to have to take up narration, I'm afraid.
I'll just take narration and Cecily again.
Okay.
Over on her desk,
Thanks,
you can see the remains. Thank you so much, Pip, and thank you for writing this. This is great.
Yes.
Over on her desk, you can see the remains of some old electronic devices that she probably gutted for parts in order to build one of her contraptions. Next to that is Orica's computer, which is still turned on. There's something about it which seems off, but you can't quite tell why. It's not that there's anything wrong with the device itself, you don't think. It's more like the simple act of looking at it makes you feel a bit strange. If you had to describe it, then you'd say that it reminds you of what it's like when you're about to gather an insight increment, like what you're looking at something investigatively important. That's a pretty weird thought, you think to yourself. You mean, sure, it came in handy, but it's not like the investigation progress meter ever really meant anything, right? Even so, there's something about not being able to rely on it that makes you feel a bit sad. You might even say depressed? That's one of the stages Mashiri told you about once, sweeps ago. In any case, since you don't have your visor, they'll just have to make do without the meter from now on. No point in dwelling on it. You probably feel weird and sad because you're concussed or something. Ditto for this feeling about the computer. Probably all in your head. And yet the longer you're in the room with it, the more certain you are you have to look at it. The screen is calling to you. Well, there is an investigation going on, and you're the chief regulator. You're quite sure there's no significant ethical boundary being crossed here. The idea that something could be impairing your judgment in this matter is absurd. Or, well, maybe it's not absurd, but what the hell? You're going with the feeling. Get a closer look. On the screen is a chat log of some kind. Looks like Orica was talking to someone recently. You wonder who. The log begins about half a sweep ago, so you start reading from there. Obnoxious Antidote began discoursing with Aeneas Aloyd. Hello there.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I'm okay, I guess. Just working on a personal project at the moment.
I'm glad to hear it. Personal projects are wonderful, aren't they? There's nothing like dedicating your time to something you really believe in and seeing the effects of your handiwork.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Not to be rude, Oe, but do I know you from somewhere?
Ah, of course. You're right to be suspicious. I could be just about anyone sliding into your DMs, couldn't I? Let's just say I'm an admirer of yours. I recognized you in the anti-corporate antiquarian bloggers server.
Oh, I love meeting new people from ACAB. Hi there. But an admirer? I don't know what I could have done to deserve one of those.
Oh, come now. That's putting yourself down terribly. You seem to be rather well known in certain circles, AA. In fact, I'd go so far as to say, you should be famous. Nothing much out of the ordinary here, you don't think? Although, no, it's probably nothing. You skip ahead a few weeks, keeping an eye out for anything suspicious.
So, what were you talking about in the server earlier? That was pretty nuts, LMAO.
Do you really think so? I thought it was perfectly reasonable.
I mean, sure, we all agree that corporate is pretty bad news, OA, but some really serious stuff to just come out and say. If anyone did that, then lots of innocent people would get hurt.
And your point is? I would have thought that you, of all people, would understand where I'm coming from, AA. And besides, you agree with me, right? That there's something wrong with our world. Something festering underneath its surface. There's nothing wrong with wanting to cleanse what's been infected. Maybe you should try it sometime. Wait, what? This doesn't look harmless at all. You skip ahead some more, a horrible feeling settling into your acid tubes. You reach a point where Orica drops her quirk entirely. That definitely can't be good.
We need to talk.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh, quit it with the fake polite shtick, OA. I know it's all a fat lie. Just like your typing color, your quirk, and everything else about you. I should have realized who you were the moment I saw your handle.
I haven't the foggiest idea what you mean. Have I done something wrong? I think you know that I'm far from the only one of us who's made mistakes.
Listen, you bastard, we've all done some crazy shit in the past, but the stunt you tried to pull with TR was so fucked up. Not to mention CC and RC and GW. And those are just the ones we know about. You need to leave and never come near any of us ever again.
Haha. Oh, Orica. This kind of behavior is really unbecoming of someone from your caste.
Okay, how the fuck do you know my name?
Oh, I know lots of things about you, Orica. Like I said, you should be famous. And if I were you, I'd spend a lot less time looking out for people who are beneath you, and more time worrying about yourself. There are people who want to do very, very nasty things to you, Orica. Low bloods who'd love to finish what they started. I know what you must think of them. I understand. They're disgusting, aren't they?
I'm not above anyone. They're not disgusting. And stop calling them lowbloods. You know this caste bullshit doesn't mean anything anymore.
Doesn't it? I wonder if you believe that. I know they certainly don't. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Soon you'll be able to put that high and mighty attitude to the test. Maybe you'll feel a little differently when your visitor arrives.
My visitor? You sent someone here?
I wouldn't call it that. I might have let slip that I knew where you were, and I know that they're very, very keen to come and see you. Any minute now, you should get a proximity alert from one of your drones.
Fuck.
There we go.
Oh wait, what did you do?
It's alright. Nothing to worry about. I'm sure your defense system is more than capable of handling them. You installed it after all, and very expertly too. What's the harm in letting it do its job? You won't have to worry about it when you're scraping their ashes off of the floor.
I have to go. Don't ever contact me again, you monster.
Christ.
The last message was sent within the last hour. This happened just before you arrived. All at once, in the center of your very concussed think pan, several ideas all come together and lock into place. You know this person, or rather you know their voice, and now you know that they're more than just trying to mess with you. Someone out there wants you very dead, very badly. There's nothing new about that, of course. People want you dead all the time, and you're always happy to disappoint them. But nobody's ever gone about it like this before. This is new. Your internal monologue is interrupted by the sound of Orica returning. You move swiftly away from the computer and sit back down in the chair. You'll have to ruminate more about this later.
Okay, so I have good news and better news. Nuggets. I'd ask which one you want to hear first, but honestly, the concussion is probably hella impairing your judgment right now. The fist. The good news is that I found my medical supplies and Dr. Rust is now in the building. Winklick.
She carries a small box over to where you are and opens it. You can't see what's inside, but she takes something out of the box and fiddles with it for a moment. Then she reaches up to your think pan carefully. Her tongue is stuck out, brow furrowed in concentration. You feel a faint bit of pressure, and then she pulls back to admire her handiwork. Orica.
Surprise noodle?
Is that a band-aid you just put on me? She beams at you.
And I bet it feels much better now, huh? Kiss.
You don't have the blood pusher to tell her, not after everything else that's happened tonight. Thank you, Orica. You're going to need to see Mashiri and a stiff drink after this, maybe both at once, especially if this is any indication as to what the better news is going to be like. You get the nasty feeling it's going to be something to do with Orica's other, more mechanical area of expertise. Oh boy. Orica goes back to fetch something and then returns with it cupped in both hands.
Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna need your help, Glance Nuggets.
She holds her hands up towards you and then shows you what she's carrying. Cupped between her palms is... You're not sure what it is. At least not at first. It's made of some pure white metal and appears to have... legs? You looked at it hard for a moment, your brain slowly recognizing the shape more and more. The wings, the beak, the feathers that almost look like scales. It's... a hummingbird moth?
That's the one! Nice.
You haven't seen one of these since your Lucis died.
She's pretty cool, right? Steamed? All I had to do was modify one of the drones I have roaming out in the trash dunes, Flex. They help me scout for parts out there so I don't have to spend so much time digging through mountains of useless garbage to find anything good, I roll. And they also let me know if anyone's nearby, just in case. Well, you know, pensive. Anyway, I just tinkered with this one a bit, and now she's yours. Kiss. You okay, Cecily? Cold sweat?
Yeah, I'm... It's just the smell in here. It makes my Glance Nuggets perspire is all. I'm fine. She's beautiful.
I know, right? Steam.
She tips the hummingbird moth drone into your waiting hands, looking very pleased with herself. You stare down at it for a while in silence. Then she seems to remember something.
Oh, right, I should probably tell you how to turn it on, LMAO. Yikes. I know technology is something you have a bit of a hard time with, Ceci, so I made it real simple for you. Just for you, innocent.
I appreciate it so very much.
LMAO, that's the scathing Cecily wit I know and love, Winkler. My treatment is working already, Flex. Okay, so to activate her, all you gotta do is press this part here and say something, Glance Nugget. Then she'll imprint on your voice, and that's all there is to it. Nice.
I see. That does sound very simple. But what to say? You're Cecily Opara, and you don't say things without due consideration. Your every word is calculated, every utterance straight and to the point, like your very straight, very pointy blade. If you're going to activate this thing, it's going to have to be with something good. You close your eyes and cast your mind back over the events of the night, and then back even further. Weeks, blinks, sweeps, until a memory from a lifetime ago catches your attention. You were sitting in a temp office, one of many you visited in those days. Some faceless person was trying to walk you through the pain with nothing but a handful of important words. You choose one, like you're picking a card for a magic trick, and then you walk back through the long sweeps with it, feeling its weight grow with the time. You know what to say. It's a word you've never quite got the hang of. It's not in your nature, most likely. But it'll do for now. Acceptance.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
It was so good.
Oh, this root is so weighty and so good. I love.
Yeah, it's really something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Hi, Pip. Thanks for writing that. You kicked my ass
Yeah.
completely.
Thank you so
God.
much.
And you can now see our title screen has even more things on it.
More things.
The worst thing is I kicked my own ass with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. And you all did it too, like fill those spots in. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's an absolute
Thank you.
masterpiece. Let's take a look through the credits.
Yes.
Koei was our programmer, basically a director. Koei does so fucking much around here. It's really incredible. This game wouldn't be possible without him. Let's see. Pipti
Love
wrote
Koei.
Orica, and Heather wrote Indari with help from Zero. Let's see. Volume 4 sprites. Big Chalupa did Indari sprites, and Phil did Orica sprites, and both of them did such an incredible job. For Volume 4,
Yes.
backgrounds were done by Charlie, Phil, Chuchumi, D, Bana, Zero, and Donut. And the ending illustrations for Volume 4 were done by Big Chalupa.
Phil.
Oh, and
Phil.
Phil. Yeah, I did the
And
other
Phil?
one.
Okay. Well, we'll
Yeah, I did
tweak that
Orcas.
one up.
Oh,
Koei.
Yeah.
So the music, the new music this volume was Orica's theme, Gu Lagoon, Damn Fish, You Live Like This, and Indari's theme, Heathen, An Evening with Chris Angel's Gay Cousin. And sound effects were also done by Chris. Let's see. My song, Beatrice, which is Cecily's theme, and Pessimistic Duelist were both in this volume as well. Let's see. I created Cecily. Heather created Indari and Orica. And yeah. That's our volume. We're gonna
Really
Yeah.
good.
I hope you guys liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah. I personally think it was well worth the wait and
Yeah, me
such.
too.
It's so cold.
Me too.
Orica
Yeah, the
has
delay was worth it.
75 sprites in this game.
76,
75 or
actually.
70. Wait, was it 76? I don't fucking
76,
know.
because I just zipped
Too
it
many.
for Pesty. It's
Jesus
76.
Christ.
No, it's 75 because one of those is a sprite that was never included in the game. It's the one
was
with her helmet off and she's got a shocked expression. I
No,
presume
I didn't include that in my zip.
Pesty is going to be so distraught.
Yeah, the helmet off surprise I didn't include because that was also like a previous art.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
line up with the rest of them. She's taller in that one.
God, and
Yeah,
I think
understandable.
yeah.
In
Yeah.
the game repo, at least, there's 76 sprites.
Yeah.
So many.
Like,
I think we're gonna beat that.
we went ham. Like, completely.
Thank you
And I know
everyone for coming.
Austin and I were just talking that, like, we wish we could have fit in the, I put it in SB Live Vlogs, but it's the princess laugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Really good.
Yeah, this was fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work. We're gonna go back to our little cave now, and start working on Volume 5.
Yes,
I definitely have to do more writing for that. Dee is helping me. Thank you, Dee.
Back on that grind.
I don't think
totally doesn't look like an animal.
I think people can guess one of the two characters that's coming up next, and that's all I'll say about that. Goodness gracious, this is a lovely game. It's been lovely working with you guys. I can't wait to stream the next one. I'm gonna go make my podcast about running for local office. I'm gonna post that later today, so check on that, because I'm apparently a politician now also, because I wasn't doing enough before.
Jesus Christ.
Politician fever.
Oh yeah, let me thank some people. Thanks Chris Really, who Pixelated Chocolate Donut, Iconic Sausage Cross, Shane, oh my god, there's no way you're watching, but you are the best main tank player in Canada, and that's just a fact. If you actually watch this whole playthrough of a visual novel that I helped make, then you are also the best Overwatch player in general. Phoenix Senpai followed, Kansas just got Gayer followed, so did Geeky Asari and Olshu. Thank you so much for the follows. That's the end of our stream for today. I'm gonna be streaming, I don't know, I'll probably get back to my other streams at some point. Look forward to that. And yeah, anyone have anything to say to the 21 viewers before we depart?
Gay rights.
Gay rights.
Gay rights.
Gay rights, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Trans and gay rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trans and gay rights, yes. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Yes,
Farewell.
we're happy you enjoyed the volume and the stream.
Thanks, everyone.
Mm-hmm.